Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for 11/17/2022. It is Thursday. It is our last show of the day. No shows on Friday just yet. But, man, we getting right into it. Shout out to Gaddy. What's going on, bro? All right, we jumping right into it. Breaking news out of NFL.com just dropped about 10-15 minutes ago. Ndamukong Suh, former Detroit Lion, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, former LA Ram, former, pretty much that's it, I think, has signed with the Philadelphia Eagles ahead of their playoff run. Now, I do know that Jordan Davis, at least, yes, he is out. He is out. I don't know how long Jordan Davis is out, but this is why I think that they went and signed Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh is 35 years old. I was pretty sure he was not going to play in the NFL this year. But the Eagles, after getting gashed on the ground in Monday's loss to the Washington Commanders, have decided to sign Ndamukong Suh ahead of their playoff run. Afternoon, everybody. We just going to get straight into, we're going to get this around the NFL segment out the way. All right? Ndamukong Suh, Washington had 50 rushing attempts for nearly 150 yards. Comes out to about 3 yards a carry. You can tell they were missing Jordan Davis. And Ndamukong tweeted out about 15 minutes ago just a picture of an eagle. Now, Ndamukong is 35 years old. It says, with 12 combined sacks recorded in the last 2 seasons, it's clear he isn't slowing enough to consider retirement, not before he chases another ring with his new team. They're referring to Ndamukong chasing a ring with the Rams, but he didn't get it when he was with them. He was there with Jared Goff during that 2018 run. He did get it with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020. And he has not been in the league this year. But Ndamukong Suh, 35 years of age, is signing with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, listen, Ndamukong Suh was dirty. A lot of Lions fans act like they were blind to that. But Ndamukong was dirty indeed, 100%. However, I think he's going to fit perfectly in Philadelphia because the man embraces what them fans is, man. Them fans will boo their own team. So Ndamukong Suh, man, what y'all think? Signing with the Philadelphia Eagles with 8 games to go. That's going to be something. Now, maybe they'll do what they did with JPP in Baltimore. He doesn't play every game. And they didn't, when he was signed, even though he said he was ready, he didn't play for like a week or two. So, man, this changes the game tremendously. Now, I want to know, let me see if I can find, what was the injury to Jordan Davis? So Jordan Davis is on IR. They didn't need to place him on IR, but they put him on IR. He suffered an ankle injury in week 8, and we're starting week 11 tonight. This comes out on the 2nd. So if they put him on IR the 2nd, that means he's eligible to return in December. Billy says, I know he didn't want to come back to Detroit, but I wanted to sign him badly. What's up, Zay? So listen. This right here should tell you that Ndamukong does not want to come back to the city of Detroit. That brother, listen. So I want all y'all to stop. Let the man go. Let the man go. The Miami Dolphins, that's the other team. Took a big deal with the Miami Dolphins. Then he went to the LA Rams. Then he went to the Buccaneers, got a ring. Then he was out the league until now. All right? So let everybody go, man. Let Ndamukong go. I think there's a better chance that Stafford comes back to retire or something like that before Suh does. Ndamukong Suh signs for the Philadelphia Eagles for the rest of the season. That's going to beef up that defensive line. My thing is, when Jordan Davis come back, are they going to be working him in or not. But Ndamukong Suh, 35, the bad boy out of Detroit, signing with the Philadelphia Eagles. Afternoon, everybody. What's going on? Listen, if you come in and I don't acknowledge you, that's because I'm not trying to ruin the segment. So that's what that is. What's up, Nick? What's going on? What's going on? What's up, Mr. Poole? Zay says the NFL league wide margin of victory is 9.2, the lowest since 1932. The NFL is all about one or two plays that decide games right now. But we knew that, though, Zay. We knew that, bro. Nick says he couldn't wait to get out of Detroit. What's up, Durham? Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but I remember 2014. They're doing the press conference after the loss to Dallas, and I saw this big burly man, and I have no issues with anybody crying, man. I think real men cry, but he's up there and he's balling, and he didn't want to answer. They were asking him about coming back, and he was like, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about my teammates. I want to talk about us fighting hard out there. And I'm watching this big old man, and I say he's not coming back. He's done. He's done. But as far as Zay, we knew that though, bro. We knew that already. And I got something for y'all. And I want to tickle y'all fancies today. I want to tickle all types of fancies today. All right? Don't take that the wrong way. But I want to tickle your fancy today because I want you to go into the weekend. I want you to live on hope this weekend. Now, we got some polarizing figures to talk about today. You know, Jared Goff is coming up because I saw something. Shout out to Mr. Poole from Sideline Report. 5 people that the Detroit Lions will, he said definitively, will not return in 2023. So we got to bring that up. And you know JG was on there. You know he was on there. Another thing, too, is the Detroit Lions, and we're probably going to go into that next, how big this game is this weekend. Now, Zay's he's like an optimistic pessimist. My Twitter name was that a couple weeks ago. A couple years ago. Back in 2019, 2020, my Twitter handle was the optimistic pessimist. Because I always was trying to look at the team for what it was, but I was, pessimistic, right? Sue chased that ring, bro. Yeah, he already got one. And I don't know if he liked Matthew Stafford, man. He said Jared Goff was the best quarterback he's ever played with. I think that was while he was in Tampa. So, I don't know. I felt like that he was taking a shot at Thomas J. Brady. I don't know. But I want y'all to, as Friday comes and the weekend, you bumping your Friday, you get your paycheck, whatever. You going out to eat, taking the wife, the family out to eat. Maybe you going to see Wakanda Forever, whatever the situation. And then I want you to take those feelings into Sunday, all right, as we face the New York Giants. And I want you to do this, all right, because I'm going to show you. That's how, I'm I'm still on this old segment. Why ain't y'all tell me, man? Why ain't y'all tell me, hey, Grid, switch the segments, bruh. Switch the segments, bruh. What are we doing? All right, so I want y'all to embrace this, all right? Because if I have to deal with it, so do you. So do you. Nick says, when was the last time the Lions won 3 in a row? I believe it was Jim Caldwell's last year. Yep, 2017 is when Zay says, and that was Jim Caldwell's last year. I believe it was Jimmy C's last year. When 9-7 wasn't good enough, and we couldn't beat the good teams. If I got tattoos, man, I would probably get that tatted. Get that tatted, bro. 9-7 wasn't good enough, and we couldn't beat the good teams. Dave, that is a fantastic question, bro. We got a little while to talk about that, though. But that's a good question, man. Hold that question. Now, I want to show y'all something. All right? Let me get this segment started because I record a lot of segments today. No, I almost stopped streaming. My bad, y'all. Ooh, that would have been a nightmare. All right, so, you know what? Let me do this because I was saying nightmare. Stop that and do this. We are live with Spike Kool-Aid, last day of the week. And I'm here with my loyal people in the chat. We modded up, okay? And I told everybody that I'm trying to tickle their fancies a wee bit, okay? Because I'd much rather be doing this than talking about the draft. And, Bryce Young is just a dream right now. He's just a dream right now. But we got more pressing issues right now, okay? We have more pressing issues right now. And I want y'all to stay with me, all right? Now, I'm not trying to pump your veins. I think 2020 was the year of hopium. The new phrase hopium came alive. Now, we've heard about the Kool-Aid. We've heard about all that. But it was a new phrase that came out of nowhere called hopium. And we were talking about how it's injected in people's veins. Now, the landscape has changed tremendously, not only on YouTube, but the Lions in general. There are no more New England Patriots on our team, okay? No more Patriots on our team. The culture is different. Now, instead of trying to be the Detroit Patriots, we are about grit and resiliency, okay? And I'm going to do something to y'all that you're going to have to make a decision, okay? And that decision is, do you believe? Are you going to hold off your optimism, or are you going to inject this into your veins? All right? What am I talking about? I'm about to show you. Oh, yeah. We talking about in the hunt, the playoff picture. Now, wait, I know what you're saying. Grid, we're 3-6. And that is true. That's a fact, okay? But what I want y'all to see is this right here. All right? Now, the Lions. This is where we're number 12 right now, okay? Don't give up, y'all. Y'all remember that commercial? Was it Sarah McLachlan? It was somebody, it was about feeding the dogs or the children. Now, I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but the song, don't give up, please don't give up. Everybody remember that commercial. You're lying if you don't, right? But I want y'all to see something. This is where we were at 1-6. We were the last team in the National Football League NFC Conference, right? This is where we were, right here. When we beat the Green Bay Packers, we jumped from 5. We moved up to 15, I believe, somewhere around there. This is where we sit now, number 12. Now, you might be like, Grid, what is you on, bruh? Why are we even talking about this? Why are we even talking about this? I'm going to tell you why we talking about this. Look at this record. We moved up 3 spots. Can y'all see it? Can y'all see how much we moved up? We moved up 3 spots. Now, you think I'm feeding you hopium. That's not what I'm doing. I am in the moment. I am telling you realistic mathematical outcomes. All right? This team right here plays no Kyler Murray. No Kyler Murray. Okay? They play the San Francisco 49ers. No Kyler Murray. He's already out. Oh, yeah. Now, this team here, what do you see with these 3 teams? They're all 4-6. What are we? 3-6. Now, these 3 teams have played more games than we have. Fact. As a result of that, they will fall below us if we win. We have to win the game. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. All of this is contingent on a Detroit Lions win. However, if we win and the Cardinals lose with no Kyler Murray, this is my biggest situation today. I'm worried about this game, okay? I'm terrified about this game because we need this team to win. And this team plays tonight, and I am taking the Tennessee Titans. Now, they are at Lambeau, but I think Derrick Henry goes off, okay? Now, what do you see? What do you see? 4-6, 4-6, 4-6. Loss means 4-7, 4-7, 4-7. That's 11 games if you're counting with me. The Detroit Lions, with a win, 4-6. What do? We jump these 3 teams and automatically move to 9. And so y'all talking this. We talked about this last week. And remember this?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Well, I do too, because if we win that game, well. And if the Eagles could have handled their job and we won on Sunday, this is where we would be. 1 game out of the playoffs. I said, playoffs? Playoffs? Yes, playoffs. Say it with me, y'all. Playoffs. Just like the Mickey Mouse show, playoffs. We talking about playoffs. Not a game. We talking about playoffs. Now, this is the reality of the season so far. Bryce Young is not about the reality. Okay? The reality is we are one game, and if the Eagles could have handled their job, man, oh man. Because we beat this team here. They're gonna beat the Texans. But we beat this team here. We beat this team here. This team would have been 4-6. Now they probably beat the Texans. They go to 5-6, and we're at 4-6. So we're gonna be, we probably would be ninth regardless. But well. Dern says, sorry, bro. This team has burned me too many times. I'm still on, I'll believe it when I see it. And Dern, that is perfectly fine. That is where you choose to be, and I respect that, my friend. I respect that. Seeing it where you believe it when you see it is perfectly fine. And I don't want anybody who doesn't want to choose, because this is a choice that you're going to make. This is a choice about believing, okay? You don't have to make it, and I'm okay with that. This is where I choose to be, and like I said in my video the other day, if you want to come along with me, that's perfectly fine. See, being let down if something doesn't happen is different from hoping it does. You feel me? So for me, I'm not going to be let down. This team started 1-6. I'm going to take 2 wins away or give 2 wins because of Dan Campbell. Now, that doesn't mean anything in the standings, but it means something to me, right? This is what I choose to believe in now, but I understand, because if I'm like, oh my God, they didn't do it, then that's on me. I'm going to take the good with the bad. Now, again, this all depends on if the Detroit Lions handle their business and they beat the New York Football Giants. And listen, whatever y'all feel, it's okay. We have, your boy know about being burnt 100%. This is just what I choose to hope in this year, because I am tired, y'all, of having no hope. Remember what it felt like last year? And I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm trying to convey my feelings. Remember what it felt like last year when we were terrified that we were going to go 0-17. Not only be the first team in NFL history to go 0-16, but the first team in history to go 0-17. Remember what that felt like. I would much rather be here than there. So that's all this is, fellas. This is potentially meaningful football in December, which we haven't had in years. My son is in the 7th grade. The last time we had meaningful football in December, he was not even in school. So again, we are all different people, and I respect that. I'm not trying to bring anybody over to my side. I'm not. And I got a little surprise for y'all at the end of the show. One thing I know about us. What's up, Mike? What's going on? Nate says, I believe it when I see it, but I want to rock with that optimism. And you know what, Nate? The thing is, man, how are we going to handle it if it doesn't happen? Like I said, I'm not going to be tripping. I'm going to be a little perturbed because I feel like Dan Campbell gave them 2 games. So instead of being 3-6, we could be 5-4 right now. Easily 6-3, right? And I'll be like, dang, man, if you would have done this, maybe we're talking about the 7th seed. If you would have done that. How impressive would it be if they did this, though? David says, if we can stop the run, we can beat the Giants. That is facts. Mike says, I believe the Chicago game at home to end the regular home season will be meaningful. Except, Patrick, that's not who we play, my friend. Oh, you mean the second. That's our second to last game at home. We end at Lambeau. And I was talking about this yesterday briefly about how that game could have a lot of meaning. However, these next 2 and the 2 after that, the 4 combined the season is in these 4 games, because it's 2 different ways this thing can go. All right? We could come out of the 4-week span when Jameson Williams comes back off of another 4-game losing streak, and all of a sudden we are 3-10. We can split that and be 5-8. Any combination of ways that thing could go, right? But the way it has to go for that scenario that I pointed to y'all, okay, I showed y'all, the way it has to go is 2-2. We have to, when Jameson Williams comes back in the middle of December, we got to be 5-8. We have to be 5-8. You could be right, Mike. Both of them games could mean something. For sure. Now, the only game that I'm worried about, y'all, out of that whole thing is the Falcons-Bears. And no, I'm not rooting for these teams, but we need these teams to win. Now, tonight, I can't wait. Man, if Aaron Rodgers wins this game, I'm going to feel some type of way. It's at Lambeau. It's at Lambeau. That's all we need is for the Packers to be 5-6. I'm telling you, y'all, that's all we need. I feel like it could happen, though. And I feel like if the Packers win against the Titans, their season turns around, and now we're either playing to get in the playoffs or we're playing to keep them out. Week 18. Let me know your thoughts, man. What y'all think? So that's how I feel, and that's how I think this thing is going to go. But I just wanted to tell y'all, man. Like, if you thought you was going to skate through the weekend with no hope, you got it now. You got it now. If the Lions win, and those three things happen, we are the 9th seed. 2 games out of the playoffs. When 3 weeks ago, it's amazing what winning does, huh? We had the first pick in the draft, and now we potentially could be the 8th seed. Either way it goes, this is the thing we cannot have happen. We cannot lose, and all 3 of them teams win. That can't happen. If we lose, if we win, we still can't have all 3 of them teams win. We need some diversity. But whatever, we need to handle our business, and that's facts. Nick said, stop Saquon, he's the whole offense. That's facts. That is 100% facts, bro. I don't know what was up right there. Ho, ho, ho. I don't know what was going on. All right, so let's get into this other segment, man. Because I like Brad Berriman, and I was like, what's happening, B? What's going on, B? Uh-oh, I'm on the wrong. Sorry, yo. I'm on the wrong thing, man. I like Brad Berriman. He's my guy. Drops a lot of dimes. We got a couple more segments to talk about. All right. So let me pull this over here so I can see, and we're going to go. All right, so this article comes from Fansided. Now, y'all know I love me some Fansided, particularly Brad Berriman. Brad Berriman says 5 Detroit Lions who will not be back in 2023. Now, notice the key word there, will not be back. Not could not may not. That gives you a little wiggle room. But he is convinced that these 5 players will not return to the Detroit Lions in 2023. And I tend to agree with him on a lot of these. But the one we talked about earlier, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. Number 1 is Jared Goff. This is what he says. He says a $10 million dead money hit isn't to be discounted, but the Lions can clear $20 million in cap space by parting with Jared Goff. That money can be used to sign someone as a bridge placeholder for a rookie, and they'd be far cheaper. There'd be a far cheaper one than Goff will be. Goff is the kind of quarterback who keeps a team in proverbial purgatory. Dang, bro. I mean, that's oh my God. Lord have mercy. Expensive and mediocre. The Lions don't have to keep him around next year. He can then start what will be a journeyman remainder of his career. Oh my God. Dang, that right. I mean, what happened with Brad here? I mean, I think he just said, he dropped the bomb on the brother. He dropped the bomb. I mean, he went hard on him. I don't even think y'all going that hard on him. Holy and moly. Yes, Darren, you did say that before. But I mean, the brother said proverbial purgatory, expensive and mediocre. And I would say that is the biggest argument right above turnovers and panics. But to call the brother a journeyman, I mean, that's cold. That's cold. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on Jared Goff because we can spend the whole segment talking about JG. Now, JG is a dilemma for sure. I don't know what they're going to do. And I think that is the kind of the that Brad Holmes is, he's kind of like David Copperfield. Like, he keeps things hitting from you. Well, David in his prime, I don't know what he's doing. But he keeps things hitting. We don't know what this man is going to do. On one hand, I say Goff stays. On the other hand, I say he goes because of these numbers right here. But then I started to think, well, who are we going to, if we want to win, then he can be an expensive backup. He can also come in and relieve whatever rookie we draft if need be, if a Trey Lance situation happened. Let me ask y'all this. Now, we talked about it yesterday. Jimmy G is not getting $30 million. That's for sure. But what happens to, who would you take if the Lions got rid of Goff, got the rookie you wanted? Who would you want to back said rookie up if the situation in Detroit was like it was in San Francisco? I'm not trying to wish harm on anybody. Let's say we get said quarterback. Said quarterback breaks his ankle. And then journeyman backup quarterback needs to come in. Who would you want that to be? Now, are the numbers high for JG? Facts. That's facts. But the Lions, maybe they took JG with this in mind. I have no idea. The only person who knows that for sure is Mr. Holmes. And this brother he definitely earned the name Sherlock because he got all of us wondering about this mystery that is Jared Goff. But let me know. I'll say this. Jared Goff restructures somehow, some way. Maybe they defer some of this money to a time he could probably not be on the team and he stays with the Lions. That's my thought. So let me know yours in the comment section below. The next person who will not be a Lion is cornerback Amani Awawarie. I can agree with that. I don't really know what his deal is. It says, I'll just call him O. Stock may be diminished so much now, and he's looking to free agency, that he ends up coming back to Detroit on a cheap one-year deal in March. But the Lions can and should just let him go. They are preparing to not have him next year by now by simply not playing him. Dang, that was another. Dang, Brad, I think Brad woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Number 3, Alex Anzalone. Says Anzalone is the dictionary definition of a stopgap. Dang, bro, I mean, come on. Hey, we need to spruce this thing. Bring some joy back into this thing. Lord have mercy. I don't think I've ever seen Brad go this hard. He said Anzalone is the dictionary definition of a stopgap. Ideally, the Lions won't have major gaps in their linebacker core as they look to 2023 for him to fill with significant snaps. Experienced backups are more important to have, but Anzalone shouldn't be back in Detroit next year. Wow. I mean, Brad, I read Brad stuff all the time, and he went hard. Number 2, Charles Harris. Says Harris may simply not have the role to justify a cap number close to $8 million for 2023. It's hard to make it better than a 50-50 chance he's back right now. And the final 8 games are lined up to trend toward making it a practical certainty he won't be. And that's terrible because we re-signed him, I think a 2-year deal. And the number one person that pretty much we already knew this, wide receiver DJ Chark. Now, we talked about Chark extensively last year, and here's what Brad had to say. It just hasn't worked out for Chark this season in Detroit. And even before his injury sidelined him, the team couldn't have been happy with the results. A real effort to bring him back is not coming, or at least shouldn't be. But once he returns to action, he will have some kind of opportunity to get on a better track before hitting free agency in March again. Now, when it comes to DJ Chark, Brad Holmes again, only one who knows anybody what anything is happening, right? What's happening in any capacity. However, I will say this with DJ Chark. DJ Chark is getting paid for 2 years not to be a Detroit Lion. Okay? Dern says, I can see Chark coming back if he decides to take much less money. See, you know what, Dern? I agree. But the Lions chose to give him $10 million, right? Chark is getting paid to not be on this team. They broke his signing bonus up for 3 years. He got a third this year. He gets a third next year and a third in 2023. Of his $10 million, he probably only got maybe 40% of that. 40%, as a matter of fact, he got 36. He got his signing bonus, a third of his signing bonus, and he got his entire salary. That way, it would hit the books differently. So DJ Chark will be getting paid the remainder of his signing bonus in 2023 and 2024 to not possibly be on this team. And if you go look at the free agent pool in wide receiver, it's not that many people left. Now, what I could see happening, we take another wide receiver in the draft. We've got DJ Chark. We've got Josh Reynolds. We've got Amon Ra is what I meant to say instead of DJ Chark. We've got Jamison Williams. I could see it. I think it's like 75-25. I think the only reason, there's only one reason or two reasons DJ Chark comes back. One, we're already paying him. Two, he balls out the rest of the year. Let me ask y'all a question. DJ Chark may or may not play this Sunday. No word yet. I don't think he will. I think he plays 6 games. In order to re-sign Chark, knowing that we're paying him for the next 2 years, what would he have to do for you in order to earn another stint in Detroit? All right, let me find the chat again. So what did y'all think, man? He went hard, bro. He went hard. What is the most surprising on that list? Now, out of that list, if I had to rank them, I think Jared Goff is it would be 5th, least likely. Because I know y'all can't stand him, and that's not what this is about. It is the fact that I don't think the free agent pool is what you think. Now, I see Taylor Heineke. Somebody brought up Taylor Heineke. So let me get this straight. Let's say that the Lions pick, and you know what I think too? I think it's so many factors, and I'll tell you what, I would hate to be Brad Holmes right now. Because a lot of the factors, in my opinion, Jared Goff, I feel like he's the biggest conundrum in the city, right? Because if we pick at a certain level, I think that dictates a lot. Brad Holmes, his job is to get the best player available where we pick, right? But if we pick early, okay, that's one thing. If we pick late, that's another, right? And then all of a sudden, after a couple, I guess, subpar showings from a couple quarterbacks, I know Will Levis didn't have a great day last Saturday. All of a sudden, I am hearing that this quarterback class is overhyped. Not as bad as last week or last year, but not as good as when Trey Lance and them came out. I know one thing. I ain't going to rack my brain trying to figure it out. That ain't my job. My job is to talk about potential rumors, what they could potentially do. Because as Brad Holmes showed us and the entire NFL showed us, as Malik Willis, number 2, as Kyle Hamilton, will he be the pick at number 2? Will the Detroit Lions trade back? Will they or won't they? We don't know. After all of that, I learned a long time ago that we don't know what is going to happen. Jay says, well, Dern said Amani needs to be gone. And you know what, Dern, that's such a shame because he was showing out last year. Zay says, we have no idea what's going to happen. We can always still trade up for a quarterback. That is true. That is true. I feel like if they do trade up, that's going to put even more pressure on Brad Holmes. Nick says JG will be on the team until 2024. I'm going to tell y'all what, bro. I'm really starting to buy that. I'm really starting to buy that. I really am. Because I feel like when Brad Holmes traded and they decided to see, y'all think that the LA Rams threw away Jared Goff, and they did. But I'm seeing it a little different now. That maybe Brad Holmes wanted Jared Goff. What's up? Excuse my take. What's going on, man? Says, I just hope we go all defense in the draft. Yeah, I think they're going to get a wide receiver. I think they're going to take a wide receiver somewhere and potentially a quarterback. Now, I'm not opposed to a quarterback, but I'm going to tell you what you're going to see. We still not going to know until April 20 whatever when we hear this. Literally, those 5 seconds before that pick is announced is when we will know. Zay says Fago says Goff over Baker. Baker Mayfield over Goff. What do you think, Grid? Nope. I would take Baker Mayfield under Goff over Nate Sudfeld and Tim O'Boyle. If they keep running it back with Goff, eventually someone's going to get fired. Did he want Goff or did he want the best deal for Stafford? I think a little bit of both. But I 100% do not think Goff will be here the rest of his contract. Nate, Goff's contract is tremendous, bro. He just got an extension right before he got traded. It was almost like the LA Rams were trying to throw away money. But I'm going to tell you what, one thing you can kind of predict. If a restructure comes this year, Goff ain't going nowhere. If a restructure comes this year, Goff ain't going nowhere. And there's an old saying be careful what you wish for. I was thinking about this yesterday because I saw, Woodward Sports popped up in my feed, and I saw them, Goff, it's time to move on from Goff. And that's what made me make that post. It wasn't any, creator. It was them, right? And I'm like, do we understand the quarterback situation that we've had? For 12 years, we had Matthew Stafford. Before him, John Kitna, Charlie Batch, and dudes you can't even name in between Kramer, Pete, all them guys, right? Dudes you can't even name, Joey Harrington. So my thing is this. Like I told y'all before, man, it's funny that Goff is more polarizing than Matthew Stafford. Every single week, and Brad just bodied him. He went hard on Jared. You would think Jared, like Kristen, was Brad's ex-girlfriend, because he went. I've never seen Brad go that hard. Called him, said he's a purgatory quarterback, overpaid and mediocre. I feel like that's what Mark Orm says a lot too. And that listen. But this is my fight with Jared Goff. My fight with Jared Goff is simply this. Okay, Stafford got the chip. Indeed. Stafford didn't do it alone. Go back and watch Jared Goff's 2018 when they were unstoppable. And you know what I heard yesterday? That the refs engineered the comeback and not Jared Goff. Jared Goff was down to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. 51-54. That was the final score of this game. Jared Goff was trailing and had to bring his team back, and that's what he did. Now, nobody could stop anybody in that game. Nobody made a stop, but everybody scored, and when he needed to score, he scored. And I don't know. But what I do know is this. Currently, he's the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, and currently we have 8 games to go. And currently, if you missed our first segment, we are in the hunt. If we win, which we need to do on Sunday, and the 3 teams ahead of us lose, we jump all 3 of them. And we will be entering the Buffalo Bills game in 9th place in the NFC when we were 16th 3 weeks ago. That's what I do know. And what I do know is that for the next 6 months, when all we got is time, with the such and such pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select boom, that's when we'll find out. That's what I do know. Now, if Jared Goff is gone, then we already know. But if Jared Goff is gone, then the Lions have tipped their hand. And y'all seem to think we picking super early. And I think we pick in the teens. I really do. This team is a 7-10 team, win team. That's where we are. You forgot to mention the greatest quarterback ever in Scott Mitchell. How could you forget, man? Yeah, I knew it was somebody I was forgetting. Scotty Mitchell. Oh, yeah. Didn't Eric Kramer go to the Bears? Light us up a couple times. So, look, like I said before, I think everybody needs an opinion. Yeah, now that, hey, Dustin, that would be crazy. I mean, y'all would die if we wind up getting the quarterback that you want with the Rams pick. With the Rams pick, I saw today that Stafford might be playing on Sunday. Oh, boy. So we round it as we near the completion of the show. We still got a couple minutes. Zay says that's what I'm praying for. Hey, Zay, you know what? If that happens, bro, that happens. Goff is still on the roster. If Goff messes up, put in said rookie. I want said rookie to be groomed. That's all I've been asking for since the beginning of time is a quarter for us to be in a situation. And this is my biggest argument with Jared Goff. It's not necessarily about, oh, he's the best quarterback. It is. We have a quarterback that can mentor the future. And if Jared Goff is not the future, all right, then the next quarterback is. Why not have that? Right? Why not have that? When we have not had that. And none of these guys have been successful. Stafford got all the stats, but he has nothing as a Lion. Would you trade Goff and Swift? Wait, Jay. Jay says, would you trade Goff and Swift and their pick? No, Jason, that's a no, sir. Matthew Stafford will be 34 years old at the beginning, I think, coming up, right? I think his birthday is in February, somewhere around there, whatever it is. He'll be 34 if he's not. No, he's already 34, right? Nope. This is my opinion. The Rams did exactly what they intended to do. They squeezed the life out of that 2021 LA Rams team. They went and traded for Von. If you watch what they did, they traded for Von Miller, right? They pick up OBJ, right? They traded for Matthew Stafford, 2 first-round picks, a former number 1 quarterback, and a third-round pick who turned into Ife Melifonwu. That's what they traded, and they got what they wanted. So they got what they wanted. Now, listen, the Rams did not trade for future success. Aaron Donald was threatened not to come back. They traded to win last year, and you're seeing the remnants of that this year. No OBJ, no Von Miller. Aaron Donald is not his normal self. Cooper Kupp is gone. Ben Skoranek is overtaking Allen Robinson. Robert Woods, they got rid of him mid-season last year. So they won. They got what they wanted. Syndicate, if the Panthers had accepted that trade with the 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns, they would have been done as a franchise. Okay, Zay, was Burns in there? Because I thought it was Teddy Bridgewater. This is what I thought. I thought that the Panthers would have given us Teddy Bridgewater and their 8th pick for Matthew Stafford. That's what I saw. I don't remember Burns being in there at all. Facts. Rams were in. Win now to sell the farm. Oh, no, I'm talking about the Rams and Panthers trade. Oh. Wait a minute. What, last year? Or this year? Yes, they did this year? Yeah. Okay, I heard it this year. Man, you see how desperate they were to kind of replace Von Miller? That they were going to give them 2 first. Wow, the dude really meant forget them picks. Wow, Snead really meant what he said. Forget them picks. Because they were going to give another 2 first? Oh, my God. So you wait a minute. The Rams don't have a first-round pick until year after next. So wait a minute. Zay, you telling me that the Rams offered the Carolina Panthers 2 first-round picks, which means 23, 24, 25, that the Rams would not have had a first-round pick until 2026? Oh, my God. They must have thought a lot of themselves. Wow. Well, that's very surprising. Very surprising. Okay, we got to move on because I got to get through these 2 segments. I got to get through these 2. All right, so we'll go a little bit over because I want to make sure I get through these 2 segments. All right, because we got to record the one for tomorrow. Coming out of SB Nation. Now, I want to know what y'all think about this in the chat. Mr. Swift tells reporters, I think it was after the game, could have been before that, says DeAndre Swift, I'm not injury prone. Okay? Says the subline is DeAndre Swift acknowledges he likely will not be fully healthy again until the offseason. Now, when asked, this was speaking with the Free Press in the locker room earlier this week, Swift expressed that he's wearing extra padding that's intended to protect his injured shoulder. When asked, the third-year running back does not believe he is more prone to suffering injuries as he has battled several ailments earlier in his career. Says, I'm not injury prone. It's football. It's a violent game. Any days off help. But I know I need time, but I don't have it right now to sit down and allow myself to heal, and that's fine, Swift expressed. It's better than being on the sideline, not dressed up, and whatever role they have for me, I'm going to embrace it. Do it the best of my ability. Focus on the little details and stuff like that. Still trying to be myself with what's going on. Now, what do you think? Sound like Swift had a little bass in his voice. Now, I didn't see the interview. I agree with him. Football is a violent game, especially if you're a running back. You got grown men falling on you with all of their weight. It's tough. Some are built to handle it better than others. Excuse my hot take, says this man Swift capping like LeBron. Man, y'all need to see Lou Young, his LeBron video. Hilarious. So what do y'all think? Patty says he is injury prone. Swift will have shoulder surgery in the offseason. I don't know why I can't talk this afternoon. So Swift says, hey, I'm injured. I'm not fully healed. I can't fully heal because we get hit every week. It's a violent game. I know I'm not going to be 100% till the offseason. Zay says, love Swift talents, but he's just not that third down back that we want. That's a fact. He has to stop playing scared, says David. Nate says he tripping. He trying to get the extension. Jason says, I also think Swift doesn't want to be in Detroit. That's why he don't play. Trade him. Jamal loves being in the game. Bold prediction. If we have the opportunity to get Will Anderson and Jalen Carter, and they don't and get a quarterback, I'm so done. John, you know good and well you ain't done. Stop playing. You know you ain't going nowhere. So stop playing. Because if y'all say that, I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to hold you to it. So listen, DeAndre Swift, are you rocking with him? Says football is a violent game. And that he's not injury prone? Or do you think that DeAndre Swift is injury prone? I think the phrase injury prone, it's like a two-edged sword. It's like both ends are stabbing you. A double-edged sword, a two-handle sword or something. Both ends are stabbing you. Football is a violent game. It's gladiatorial. Okay? It's been around for a long time. Its origins are in the realm of gladiators, right? And it is a violent game. And if you play it and you get hurt a lot, you're going to be labeled injury prone. That's just how it is. Kerryon Johnson, injury prone, bad work ethic, no longer in the league, right? Injury prone, bad work ethic, no longer in the league. DeAndre Swift is more explosive, is more threatening than Kerryon Johnson, had less carries coming out of college. 5 years after he was drafted, Kerryon Johnson is no longer in the league. How many times have we seen that with running backs? DeAndre Swift is entering the last year of his deal. And while we're worried about Goff, this is a guy that quietly may not be on this team at the beginning of 2024. Okay? I admire the fact that he wants to play, and I admire the fact he wants to play hurt. I do. I couldn't imagine playing with an injury. But that's why these dudes are special. But I will say this, the other half of that sword is this, is that if you are a running back and if you are in the NFL, you have to be available. If you are not available, you're going to be called injury prone. I saw the injury that hurt his shoulder. It was in the Vikings game. The defender landed on his shoulder, and I was like, it was his left shoulder, and I said, that's got to hurt. That's going to be bad. I didn't even know he hurt his ankle. But I knew it was bad. I didn't know how bad, but I knew it was bad. So let me know what y'all think, man. Like I said, I admire the guy playing through injury. But I also think that being an early second-round pick, it's also very possible that he might not be in the league entering year 5, and that's 100. And if he is in the league, he's not going to be anybody's back number 1, 100%. So let me know what you think. All right, let me see what the comment section is saying. No missed games. What do you think the chance that Swift gets traded this offseason? Win-win? That's a good question. And I think that a lot of stuff is going to be, I think we're going to have some pre-draft stuff and some post-draft. Right now, I don't think Craig Reynolds is still on his team. Or is he? Was it a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal? I don't remember. But I think that Swift will be here next year. He's under contract to be here. I think he's here. I could see the Lions taking another quarterback. Jason says, I see you met J-Mo. That is so awesome. Is he a big dude like Megatron? Okay, so here was my experience with J-Mo. I walk into Dave & Buster's, and I'm getting somebody's order, and it's on a Tuesday. So Dave & Buster's, there's nobody in there. There's nobody in there on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's no one in there. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's a absolute madhouse. So I walk in there, and I'm picking up somebody's order. There's nobody at the counter, right? And I think about how this would have gone if there was somebody at the counter. I walk into, and there's nobody at the counter, which is where the food is usually at. So I walk past, and I look to the right where the bar is. Then I look to the left, and I'm like, J-Mo that's Jameson Williams. Like, the first thing I thought was, that's Jameson Williams. So I look back, and I'm just like, nobody realizes that. So without even thinking, I walk over there, and I tap him on the shoulder. He's with his company. I tap him on the shoulder, and I said, bruh, we cannot wait till you come back. We cannot wait till you come back. He cracked a little smile. Now, remember how we saw J-Mo when he was interviewed by Danny Rogers? The brother did not open his mouth. He just kind of nodded, smiled, and I said, man, can I have a picture? I make videos about the Detroit Lions. I'm talking about you all the time. Can I get a picture? And he looked, and he kind of gestured like, man, come on, bro. Like, you see. Okay. So I apologized to his company and took a little snapshot. That's the one you see. And before I could turn back to say thank you, he was already checked out. And I was like, thank you, bro. And walked away and thanked this company and had to keep my composure because nobody knew who was in there. And it wasn't the fact that, oh, my God, this Jameson. It's like, bro, I literally talk about you once a week. And we can't wait to – you see the internet when it comes to Jameson Williams. They love this dude. They love this dude. They cannot wait until he comes back. So Man, oh man. All right, so here's the last segment of the day. So that's my experience. I would love to meet him again and be like, bro, remember you was in Dave and Buster's? And a guy came up to you? That was me. That would be so cool. All right, so this is our last segment of the day. Appreciate y'all, of the week, I should say. And here we go. So the Detroit Lions head into MetLife Stadium to play the New York Giants. And again, the Giants are 66% favorites to win this game, according to the ESPN playoff predictor. The Giants, if you look at who they've beaten, they're not world beaters. They're more like world squeakers. They haven't beat a bunch of winning teams, and we are another team that's not a winning team. Jared Goff, 301 for 192 with 2,077 yards, 15 interceptions, and 7 touchdowns. Now, that's the Jared Goff we're used to. We're not used to that early season JG. Daniel Jones, 156 for 237, 1,596 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So I'm seeing right now that the Giants are a running team. Period. I think we spread the ball around, and we got some good news coming on our receiver front in the end of this segment. Jamal Williams, the Russian leader, 142 carries, 604 yards with 9 touchdowns. Now, I do believe he leads the league in either rushing touchdowns or touchdowns, period. But he's only got 604 yards, which means that Jamal carries are solid carries. I mean, the dude, you see what he did in Chicago. He got what we needed. Saquon Barkley, the leading rusher in the National Football League, 6 touchdowns, 931 yards. Man, 198 carries. St. Brown, 49 receptions. He had 10 receptions for 100-plus yards in last week's victory over the Chicago Bears. 518 yards, 3 touchdowns. Slayton, 19 receptions. Man, 327 yards with 2 touchdowns. You know what this tells me? That this is their receiving threat. Darius Slayton, 327 yards on 19 carries. That's fantastic. That's a first down over a first down every time he catches the ball. Jamison Williams, oh my God. Okay, so he's popping up now. Jamison Williams out. Jamal Williams questionable. Pascal, these 4 guys are going to play. These 2 guys were back at practice today. They're going to play. And it's going to be good to have Josh Reynolds out there. Give Jared Goff another option. Then we're going to go down to yards per game or points per game. Detroit Lions, they outscored 24.3 to 20.8 points allowed. The New York Giants, man, only allowed 19.2 points a game. The Detroit Lions are finally under 30. Finally, 29.3 yards, total yards. And we're going to see a discrepancy here when it comes to passing. How it's pretty much even. You can see it down there. 383 for the Detroit Lions and 343 for the New York Giants. Total yards passing, 178. Look at their rushing yards, though. Almost half their offense is rushing. Ours, 2/3 of our offense is passing, right? Yards allowed. They allow a good 75 yards almost, less than us, okay? So you see 2 things. Their defense is pretty good, and they don't allow a ton of yards. So that's what we're going to have to overcome, and it's a good thing we have Josh Reynolds back. Now, the last 5 games, the Giants are 4-1 in their last 5 games. Okay? Now I'm going to say something that is going to offend Giants fans, and the Detroit Lions are 2-3 in their last 5 games. If you look, I'm not saying that we're going to win. I'm not trying to dog the Lions. I'm sorry, the Giants. But look at this. Losing record, in my opinion, Lamar Jackson helped them win this game. Now, they finished. Kayvon Thibodeau got the strip sack, sealed the game. But in my opinion, this game was given to them by Lamar Jackson the same way Justin Fields gave us the game before. So, what do you see? Losing record, winning record, losing record. They lost to a winning record team, and they beat a team with a losing record. If you take this win away, out of their last 5 games, right, they haven't beat a winning record team. Now, obviously, our biggest concern is Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, and their ground attack. However, if we can stop that, we can win this game. Let me see. Daniel Jones have been taking care of the football, not too many turnovers for him. That's facts. That's facts. But when you have Saquon Barkley, you don't really have to worry about it, right? 8 touchdowns for 2 interceptions. What did we say how many times has he thrown it? 237 times. That's a fantastic completion percentage. They said he has not thrown an interception. I saw a Giants program. This was with Danny Rogers. Danny Rogers was on the New York Post YouTube channel, and they interviewed her about the upcoming game. And the reporter for the New York Post said that Daniel Jones has not thrown an interception in the last 100-plus attempts. It was like 137, somewhere around there, and he only has 2 on the season. Daniel Jones does take care of the football when you have to throw a lot, or when you have to when you got somebody like Saquon Barkley who leads the NFL in rushing. You don't have to worry about throwing that thing, right? So I'm going to do something I said I wasn't going to do, okay? I'm going to do something I said I wasn't going to do, and I'm going to live with the results. I am going to stick by my predictions that I made in the offseason. I'm going to do it. So I'm going to pick the Lions to win this game. Because Lions fans are too wishy-washy. We get in our feelings a lot. And I said they were going to beat them before the season began, and I'm not going to change it. You know what? Live and die. I'm going to fall on this sword and make this sound. I'm a fall on that sword, man. Here's the sound you're going to get. So I'm going to pick the Lions to shut down. They're not going to shut down Saquon. Saquon's going to get his yards. But very similar to how we should have beat the Minnesota Vikings, I think we get this. I think this game is starting to click. This team is starting to click. Josh Reynolds comes back. That is going to be a huge deal. Jeff Okuda's playing great. If Jared Goff cannot turn this thing over, we keep Daniel Jones from scrambling and killing us, I think we win this game. So that's my pick. Stanley says with Barkley, you don't have to throw that much. That's right. But I think about how we contained Dalvin Cook for the most part. We contained Justin Jefferson, and we should have won that game. I think we get it back here and we win this game. Let me know your thoughts down below. Man, what a great show, y'all. Appreciate it. I think we hit our time, and I got through all my segments. So make sure that you guys, man, are tuning. Oh, man, come on, bro. I'm on the wrong. What is going on here? What is happening? I keep forgetting to do that before I click out. It's like a display capture thing. So, but you guys are awesome, man. I appreciate y'all. And listen, like I said at the end of the day, we all want to win. We all want a win. We all want, that's what we want. And if you are on the fence about winning, about the playoffs, let this game right here be your swing factor. I totally expect us to lose to Buffalo. However, I know this team is going to fight. I think injured players are going to play. Ford Field is sold out. Been sold out before the season began. And I think the Lions are going to give the Buffalo Bills all they can handle. I think they're going to do that. I think that they're going to you know what I keep thinking about when I see the Buffalo Bills game? I think about the Arizona Cardinals from last year. Everybody had that mug as a big fat L, and we came in and dominated them dudes. We destroyed them. Was up early and kept the lead the whole game. At one point, we was up like 20-something points. Do I think that happens here? No. But I know that my team is going to fight. They're going to put on a show, and they're going to try and make the crowd get their money's worth. And I think that with all that combined, then I think we have a chance to pull off an upset. I'm still going to have us taking the L, but I think they're going to fight with all they got. And don't be surprised if we do upset the Buffalo Bills. The whole world will fall apart if we beat the Buffalo Bills. So appreciate y'all, man. You guys have a great day. if you're going to watch the game tonight, you are looking for a Titans win. A Titans win helps the Lions. Go back and listen to the early segment, or you can wait for the video to drop in about 45 minutes or so. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. 4-6, man. And watch who talks about playoffs this time next week if the Lions can get this dub. See y'all on Monday, and I hope we're celebrating Victory Monday 3 weeks in a row. Something the Lions haven't done since 2017.